Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III, best-selling author and facilitator of our Don't Kick 'em Out book and training series and our new book series, which is called Work Together, and new books coming out of that series called Do Your Job, Increasing Workplace Productivity. And one of the things we're really excited about is we have a very direct way of going about things because we recognize in organizations and particularly in a school, it is very result oriented. One of the things that we have found that it really shocked me is that how many organizations, this is like over the last 3 years of my life and things I've seen, how many organizations really do not evaluate themselves. They don't evaluate their processes. They don't evaluate their people properly. Now, there are some very serious dangers to poor evaluation. So we'll have a district that'll collect data, but they don't use it. Well, that's a poor evaluation. If you're collecting information that you don't use, that's poor evaluation. If you're evaluating your employees, but you don't give them feedback or do not train with them in the areas that they are telling you they're weak, that's poor evaluation. Like, for example, if you spent all of your last year suspending kids, if you spent all of your last year fighting with parents, if you spent your last year fighting with coworkers, if you spent your last year with over 30% of your employees coming to work either tardy or missing over double-digit days in a school year. And so we come back here and then we start the school year off in July, August, and September, and I'm asking you how many trainings or what training process have you put in place to actually address what the evaluation just told you you're weak in. And guys, and this is what's about to happen, right? So you go into the month of August, everybody around the country's doing PD. They want to get some motivational talk in, right? They want to get somebody in who's going to give them a great motivational talk, which is all well and good. But guys, the motivational, inspirational talk lasts 15 minutes once the person leaves the stage. So once you get to the car or go back to your classroom or go back to your campus, reality kicks back in. So let's think here. Let's take a look here of why this is, it's just a horrible, the danger. This is a very dangerous process. Failure to evaluate appropriately and act on the things you've evaluated will lead you to a ditch. Will lead you to a non-productive state in your organization. Now remember, the teaching success quadrant breaks down into the 4 parts. So one part is about knowledge of the subject. Another part is about content planning and delivery. Those are 2 parts, but they're only worth 25% apiece. You see down here, we have the student management piece. Can you deal with the person who that you're there to teach? And then you see up here, the relationship with the coworkers, okay? And so that also is a part of it, a relationship with coworkers and your own personal health and your own personal issues. Now, you could be a masterful teacher, you can know your stuff, you can plan well, you can be an ideal employee, you can even deal well with the children at times, but that'll only give you a 70% of the pie, because when we see a lot of folks get beat, they get beat with the personal stuff, their own personal problems. They can't get along with their coworkers, they don't like their boss, and so the struggle's real, and before you know it, they're on their way to being in that bad evaluation place. Okay, so there are ways to let you know whether things are working or not working. Pay attention to the signs. So number one, this is where you know if you're evaluating and not using your evaluations appropriately, you will have continued unproductive employee behavior. Meaning, an email will not correct tardy employees. Okay, an email will not correct it. Docking their pay will not correct it. There is a functional issue going on when you have an abundance of tardiness. There is a functional issue going on with folks and in that environment, and that has to be dissected and it has to be broke down and brought to the table. That is not something a policy will fix. Guys, listen, if you can't come to work late and we'll fire you if you're late, to work one time, guess what? You better get your pen ready, because you're going to be firing people, because a lot of folks do not even understand why they're tardy. You know, punctuality and tardiness and absenteeism is a sign of resistance. It is a sign that typically people have something going on. They don't want to be the place they're at. There's some resistance to the task, and that has to be broke down. Even when students are truant and students don't come to school, there's a functional issue going on, and it has to be broke down and dealt with. And number two, the people are delusional, right? So once they get it, they're evaluated poorly, they're delusional. They don't think it's a problem. Then there's frustration on the part of management, because you know, when you evaluated a person or gave them a partial evaluation or tried to find the positive, you know, you come back the next year, the person's worse, and now you're like, man, we could have got rid of you or did something with you, but we didn't, and the person's worse. And so now we're in the middle of a school year with somebody who we know is going to cause us problems the whole school year. Number 4, now it is poor hiring practices. So now when you misevaluate the people that are there, you don't have the clear and right lenses when you go to hire. Because now when you hire, now you're looking for people who are not like the toxic employee or the employee that is causing you problems. That is not how to recruit new talent. That's not how to hire people based on what these people are not or what they're not doing. You want to hire people based on the needs you have and what value they bring to the table. And so when you poorly evaluate, your hiring practices really are a long suit with that process. Number 5, there is a disrespect for authority now. So now that I know you won't do anything, now you start to see there's a disregard for authority. Now notice what this pattern also shows. The same thing the kids do. Once the kids know you're not going to do anything or there's no consequence, the kids now have a disrespect for authority. Now it spreads. And before you know it, you're in a fully functional toxic environment. That's exactly how it happens. It just like that. The poor evaluation leads you through the process. Evaluation is feedback. You cannot improve without good evaluation and feedback. The reason I end every single training with feedback, every single one. We do some written, but we do some verbal. You guys tell me what your takeaway is. That tells me immediately, did my audience understand what I was there to deliver? And they can verbalize it to me. Evaluation and feedback is critical to a success of an organization, particularly a school. So remember, you know, when you're thinking these healthy pillars and you're thinking about an organization that does what we needed to do, it's everyone doing their job. Everybody's got to come to work on time. And this school year, I am really putting forth the notion and making it mandatory that we've got to learn how to develop a negativity-free school environment. We cannot afford all of this negative energy, negative talk, negative side conversations, negative emails, the negative relationship energy. It takes too much energy out of a school year. Now we're at a position where we can make some choices that will impact our school year positively. And you see here, we don't speak negatively about coworkers and students. Everybody gives max effort. Everybody do your job. Everybody do your part. Here's what it has to be. We're now at the top of a school year where we can plan the direction we want to go. If that is the case and we can plan and we can do some things, let's go for what we know works. You know, Einstein says to continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is insanity. That's one part of it. But I think the worst thing about it is I consider it lazy, because we know it doesn't work to be negative. We know it doesn't work to continue to evaluate people as okay and average and then bring them back and then expect them to do a better job than they did last year when they didn't do anything last year, but we evaluated them as average or okay because you're afraid to go through the process of environmental cleansing to gain mastery and having the right people in that environment. It's lazy. That's what it is. And leadership cannot afford to be lazy and not expect elite level results. I'm about results. That's the reason they call us the game changer. Call me game change. Bottom line, results. I'm not getting in a situation for anything outside of the outcome that I was asked to come in for. We need better results, and this is how it goes. Understanding the preciousness of evaluation. Evaluation is feedback, and you cannot get better without feedback. Period. Everybody do your job. This is a negativity-free zone. That negativity is going to have to remain outside of our organization for us to take the steps we want to take in our 2019 campaign.